Understand that the failures is what's going to get you there. Understand that it's part of the process. Understand that when I go down, I put my head down, I put the work to it. There is the chance I'm going to fail, and that's completely fine.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to our 6th episode of the GOYP podcast. And today I'm in a different setting. I'm actually in Cameron Islands. It's 7 a.m. in the morning, but we decided to do a pod. And the title of today's podcast is about finding your purpose and the challenge that comes with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to share what we know, what we're going through to pursue that purpose. With me I have Syed and Ilya. Right now, at this stage of your life, what would you say your current purpose is, and how did you arrive there? I want to start with Ilya.
Alright. I'm pretty sure that's the book translation, but let me tell you what purpose means. Let me tell you what purpose means to me. I think a very simple way to put it is how I define purpose is my why. It's the answer to the question why. Whenever the question of what I'm doing, what I'm heading, what I'm pursuing, the answer to why I'm doing all of that. That's the reason behind my purpose. And that in itself is normally the main driving force, because that is also the shield to, like, whenever there is challenges or whenever you are challenged to, like, why should you proceed doing whatever you're doing. And that answer to it is what keeps me going. So that's how I would define purpose. I do know that you said the topic of the podcast is finding your purpose, but this is actually a philosophy that I contradict with, because I don't think that you find a purpose. I think it has to be built. And as you begin to pursue that purpose intentionally, only then you begin to build it, and from that you gain a stronger sense of purpose. The reason why I say this is because when I was in high school, I just graduated high school, right? What I used to say is that, I want to study actual science. And if people asked why, my answer would be simply because I like math, right? So at the time, one could say that was my purpose. I like math, so I play. But then one thing that you find is that when you go down that path, or at least when I went down that path, and I found myself in actual science 2-3 years later, I was like, wait a minute, this is not the math I was expecting. I was like, these are not the people I'm expecting to work with. But the thing is, as I went down that journey, and as I pursued that path, right, then I began to learn more about, okay, this is what actual science is about. This is the kind of people we help. This is the kind of people that we work with. And as you go down that path, I have collected and dropped reasons to, like, why I am continuing, and slowly adjusting my path to the new information that I find as I live through life. But as I get that new information, I'm continuously taking and building my list of whys. Okay, I like big data, I like automating stuff, I like making things easier for people, I like impacting people's lives, I like impacting this particular group of people's lives. And you don't get that from, like, a discovery. You don't just find that. It's something that you need to decide on a direction, walk down that path, and slowly build on it. So for me, if people were to ask me what my purpose is today, it would be, it's like, the concept of sadaqah jariyah, where, in Islam it's like passive income, but for hasanat, it's like
okay.
Some of the things that you can continuously get even if you're not doing it. There are like 4 of them, and one of them is when you teach something or you help someone and they're able to take that and apply it to their lives. Every time they apply it, you get a bit of that reward if they are practicing in that as well. So I felt that if I'm able to play even the smallest part in somebody else's success, what I found is that that's what I find most fulfilling. And since then, I've aligned that with everything that I do. And as long as I'm in pursuit of that path, it has helped me get through some of the toughest challenges. So I would say my purpose is being able to even make the smallest difference, either inspiring or helping a brother or sister in need.
Alhamdulillah, that is very inspiring. Thank you so
Inshallah.
much, Ilya, for that. Syed, I want to ask you now, what's your definition of purpose? Your own definition, right?
Firstly, the way how I would define purpose is something that I defined when I back in 2023, where I want to have an odyssey, a long and eventful journey. So I want to create a life for adventures because I love adventures. So from then on, I went through so many pathways, you can say, but at the end of the day, it eventually led me to God lah, to Islam lah. Actually, that's the final. I mean, not final lah, but that's on the pathway that I chose to live a purpose. Because in the Quran, I cannot cite which verse is it, but there's a say that everyone in this life has a purpose. Yeah, said as well. You don't create a purpose, you tend to find it. But I guess, I just want to push back a bit on that lah, because actually because everyone in this world actually has a purpose. It's just that there's two more things that you have to add, which is first you have to find it, then you have to realize it, then you have to build from there. Because most people has a purpose, but they don't realize what their purpose is. So if you get to realize, because realize meaning that you're self-aware about, oh, this is actually like who I want to become. The next thing they should do is put into action, which I would put it as building your purpose, because you build your purpose by taking action. So to define the overall bird's eye view of what's my meaning of purpose is to live a meaningful, impactful, and fulfilling life. That's to myself. So
I like that. Simple, straightforward.
yeah, the simple and straightforward.
Meaningful, impactful.
And fulfilling.
Yeah. All right. So what's your current? I guess that's your current purpose, but it's so broad. If you define that's your purpose.
Okay, but actually,
Well, that's the definition of your purpose. But what's
I think I can
Yeah.
break down
I think-
further.
what's your
That's the thing that because you do say that you have to take action. I think, when it comes to this life, there's so much knowledge to be seeked out there. There's so much things that we don't know, and it's even more things we don't know,
Yeah.
Like, I could find something that would enlighten me even like towards the end of my life, because that's just how much knowledge there is here in this world. And the reason why I say build your purpose is because it's not something that you just wait to.
Syed, I asked you the question, what's your purpose, right? What's your current purpose? But then I realized that it's so not fair to ask young people like you to set your purpose at that early age. How old are you right now?
I'm going.
19, right? Your birthday hasn't come yet.
Yeah, I'm still 19.
So it's, I would say, a crisis right now. Is it even possible to find one's purpose at 18 or even younger? Like, if we see teenagers making huge life decisions at the age of 16 even, choosing a stream or school or professional path, especially the ones that go for doctor or lawyer, what else? Engineer. You have the science stream, you have the kejuruteraan, and if you're in the SMK lah. Are you guys in the SMK, by the way?
No, I was.
Ilya, where you going? Come back. You're in the SMK, Ilya? The national. But okay, do you guys have choice? You have to go through science stream,
No.
kejuruteraan stream, art stream. No, there's one path.
For me, I don't have.
You don't have. Oh, I guess you guys learn everything like A levels. But even A levels, you can choose what subject to take. But anyway, still though, even at 19, when you graduate your pre, right, or the O levels or foundation or matriculation, you're still a teenager at that point of life, and you are forced by society to choose your purpose, to set your purpose on stone, and that defines your future forever. Do you think that's fair? And can someone so young like you, Syed, make the right choice? And I'm saying the right choice, meaning that you won't change it down the line. You will stick to it. This is what you love. This is what you will predict that I will love this. So I know you're young, right? You can relate to this. Does this resonate with you?
It does, it does. Especially now being in uni, I can really see where this question would relate in my life right now. So there's two questions actually. The first one is going to be on how is it fair? How is it fair for everyone, for society to push down to young people on the purpose? And secondly, and what is my purpose? Is it?
Just have a talk of it. It's not a question. It's like, how do you navigate through this?
Okay.
How do you navigate through finding your purpose at a young age? Right now, you're pursuing. Can you share with us what you're pursuing right now in your studies?
I'm currently pursuing in banking and finance with specialism in investment analytics.
And do you think that's what you'll be doing forever?
Yes.
Why did you choose that? Why do you think this is your purpose?
Oh, okay. So why I chose banking and finance is because I always love on how money works. I've always loved on how does everything that is around us right here is created. Because it's not created from just a snap of finger. It's obviously been created with money, with cost. So I always been interested on like how do I get my head around not the real world. Cause I see that's the world that we see and the world that we don't see. The world that we see is all the stuff lah, like your water, your earbuds, your pen. You see all those, but you don't get to see what is it like to make them. What is it like to cost them? What is it like to move money around to make them? So I'll bring you back when I was in Harry Awards. When Ilya was there actually. It was in 2022. I was just only 17. Just graduated from school a year before that when I was 16 from Taylor's. So from there, I decided to not continue my studies and decided to pursue entrepreneurship and also football. From that point in time, what I want to do is because that time I was influenced by I think mostly from what I see on social media. It's like, oh, maybe I've always think that the path of uni is always the way, until I see the other side perspective, which is, oh, there's actually more ways for you to be successful in this life without uni. So I went to the extreme and actually discontinued uni and started a business and also pursued football. Looking back, I'm actually very grateful that I took that risk, or like I took that path, because everything that happened last time led to me become better as a person. Because that time I don't know how to lead. Now I have a better idea on how to lead. Last time I didn't know how to work out. Now I know how to work out. Last time I didn't know how to read. Now I know how to read. So me not being in uni actually places me into a position of burning the bridges for myself that time. Because I have no other choice but this. I cannot go back because the boats have been burned. Now I have something this to go with. And why? Okay, now I go to the next part. Why I choose football and entrepreneurship? Is this something that I want to do? Well, football because I love physical stuff, meaning like exercising all the stuff. Then entrepreneurship because I want to make money. That's why I chose it during that time. But a year after that, after being entrepreneurship and the football and stuff, it was actually a dinner during Ramadan. Yeah, it was a dinner after, I don't know, it's around then. My mom's friend came to me. It's like, oh, what are you doing now? Oh, I said I'm playing football. I'm doing a business and stuff, right? Then they say, oh, why are you doing this study? I said, I don't want to. I said that lah. Then she asked, you're still at that time, you're still 18. You can do more in that age. Just explore. And then she left. Then they thought, just explore because you don't know what's behind the curtain. You don't know what's behind this thing. So that time I was like, meh, right? Then after a while, it gets to me. Because that time I was also going through some deep thoughts about my football career and how talking to some of ex pros, and also talking to my dad and my dad's friend, who's actually very close to one of the well-known football clubs in Malaysia. He said that after a while, to cut to the chase, there's no chance that you can do it. Not saying not to demotivate you, but not to waste your resources on something that has no utility behind it. Like, you cannot get this because of this all these reasons. So then from then on, one day in the masjid, after I solat lah, then I had this thought. Something told me lah that your time in football is over. It's time to choose a new one. But I guarantee you, this new path is going to be more adventurous than what you have in football. Football was just to prepare you for this life. Now you're moving to the next life. So overall, to find a purpose right now for just young people like who are my age is just to explore. Really, you can't just stick to one thing and go all the way to the end, because you're not going to learn anything.
Like, I can resonate with you also. I am still figuring things out. I've tried different paths. As you guys know, I'm from an engineering background. I graduated with first class, guys. I did very well. I really put my heart into it because I thought that's my purpose. I then, immediately after graduating, I did something completely different. I did sales, nothing to do with engineering. Sales and entrepreneurship. And of course, I gained skills from those ventures, and I'm glad. I'm not regretting them, and I'm saying that this is bad or anything. But I feel like I still don't find what my singular purpose is. And I'm sure that resonates with you, Syed. And I guess Ilya too. But Ilya has a more defined laser focus on his purpose. And I personally envy people like Elon Musk, who seem to have laser focused purpose from a young age as well. I think he found his purpose around his 20s. And people like that just got lucky. Do you think so? And what can we learn from that? And I guess before we go to that, I want to ask Ilya, because you seem to be more sure and steadfast on your purpose. What advice would you give to someone feeling lost at that young age? People like Syed, or even me, who is pressured by society and who is pressured to decide but is unsure of what their purpose is. Ilya, your stage is yours.
Thank you, Umar. I've been at the edge of my seat actually since Syed was speaking. I think this is something that, I think it's quite interesting when you say that. Oh, okay, I seem, or I'm perceived as someone who has laser focus. But if I were to tell you the truth as well, it's like, which circles back to what I was saying earlier, is like, I've in this position where I've actually still.
And that is a very great theory, I would say, right? To take action based on the information that you have at that moment. But I want to ask you a follow-up question, Ilya, and I hope it's just a short one. How would you say to people like 18 and they have to choose either to become an entrepreneur or a doctor? They're pressured by their families to become a doctor, because entrepreneurship, while a very lucrative path, is a very dangerous path. At that point, what information they have, most people will, especially the Asian demographic, will go to the doctor path. So how do you put that theory, that idea of yours, into practice in real situations? Our viewers here are going through that right now. They have to choose a career path at a very young age. They have to choose to become a doctor. And that, your actuary self, would you tell him, younger Ilya, 18-year-old Ilya, go for that actuary science, knowing that he will not actually like it? But I'm also recognize that there is no regrets. Who you are now is because of the choices you made in the past, right? So it's a really interesting thing. Would you tell a student to just do whatever, just execute? But guys, beyond finding purpose early, the next challenge that I want to discuss with you, and I wanted to know from you guys' perspective, is staying committed to it, especially in a world full of distractions and rapidly changing opportunities. Syed touched on this during his sharing, where he saw, while he was doing uni, he saw a lot of opportunities in social media, especially the ones that are engineered to pull you into their like course or their selling. Like Iman Ghazi sold the idea of entrepreneurship through SMMA because maybe he had to have that altruistic message to send to young people, but we cannot also deny that he benefits from it because of his courses, right? So this is nice to what we're doing right now, right? Are doing our kerja hakiki. We have our uni. We have our full-time job like Ilya at DRB. Then we have this Go Youth community that we're building. How do we stay committed to that purpose and not be distracted to jump into a new venture that's more lucrative or more impactful? Now we're already discussing about while we're having a baby Go Youth community to be raised. We have limited resources and we need to stick to one purpose, right? So with so many distractions in this world, through social media especially, and evolving technology, now we have DeepSeek rather than ChatGPT. How do we stay committed to our purpose once we find it?
Yeah, how do I stay committed? I'll bring you back to one of the stories that I had when I was in football, where our coach, every end of our 1.5 hour session, we were asked, well not asked lah, but our coach tells us to to sprint 200 meters under 32 seconds. And we have to do that for at least 4 times or 5 times. If he's really angry with us, he will ask to do 10 times. And sprinting itself is hard already, but sprinting under 32 seconds is harder. Like I would challenge anyone out here to do it with me, and I guarantee you either pass out or you will survive. So with that being said, I know I had one thing in my team is that I'm not the best, I'm not the most skilled, but I know that I can. But I know my only strength is to be the long lasting, or is to not be the last one, the last not to fall. So let's fix it. That's my purpose in doing that training is to not fall, is to finish all the way to the end. So implementing that mindset when I'm training is that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how I want to lay on the floor, no matter how painful it is, I have to finish it until the end. So to transmute that into how do I stay committed into my life ventures is that I have to fixate on you have to fixate on the purpose that you have at this point in time. As we have discussed, is doing the best that you can in any field that you are doing right now. At the same time also, I guess the only thing I would say is I want to see the results that I want to get from the start. So to use the example of Infomedia and Semerix, is that it's very attractive to move one budget to another. But for me, the reason why I stayed with Infomedia is that I haven't found a certain level of success yet. That's why I stayed. Because I know it works. It's just that we're not finding the right processes and systems to make it to work. That's why I convinced that's why I stayed. And that's how most big companies these days are still the way they are today. It's because they stayed. Even though they're not, because that's the thing about entrepreneurship. You will never know whether it's going to work or not. And it's very tempting to move one thing to another. For example, Semerix is something to do with finance and investments. I want to do that so badly, but I know I cannot because I don't have the right knowledge, I don't have the right practical to execute an investment as of yet. But I know I am confident with Infomedia, which I have been operating for the last year per se. So I want to stay in Infomedia until I find a certain level of success that makes me think I can move on to the next venture. Because I don't like jumping on things. That's just me. I don't like doing this to this. When I have a job, I make sure that it gets done, and it will push to a certain level where it makes a certain level of success. Because every input has an output, and the output has have a utility on whether is it a success or not success, because that's the reality of life. So with that being said, how to stay truly committed is to see things to the end. When you have something, a goal right here, you make sure that it gets done until the end. Because no matter what, you can be. Because for me, I was not the most talented person in the world. I'm not math genius or English genius. But I know that if I have a goal, or if I'm not I don't have to be the first, I don't have to be the last. But if I just persevere until the end, I can always be successful. And if you implement that mindset into your life on being long lasting, persevere, and not give up, staying until the end, you will see a level of success that you never thought you would have.
So is that mindset to be adopted? I get it. Alright then. I think I can accept that answer. I want to move to Ilya real quick. We have a few minutes left. Ilya, do you think it's possible for a purpose, and I want you to stick to a real purpose that we have right now, maybe even use Go Youth as an example. You think it's possible for a purpose to become irrelevant because how fast the world is changing? And how do we future-proof our purpose against that?
I think it's an excellent question when you ask, can one's purpose become irrelevant? And there are a lot of tools that you can use out there, but I'll just keep it specific to me, like you asked as well. Is when I was talking about how playing even the smallest part in somebody else's success, that's only the foundation of what my purpose is. If you kind of see what I've gone through, I've spent lots and lots of time with myself, and I still do every day a little bit, just to make sure that I'm living life intentionally. I always go back to, why am I doing things? And you'll find that after you do this over a long period of time and you try to put it into some sort of framework, right, you will begin to build some sort of structure to what your purpose is like. And that covers every single one of the priorities that I have in my life, every single thing I make time for. And the thing is, like I said, again, there's so much that you just don't know that is out of your hands. So when it comes to taking action, you want to be extremely focused on what you can control, because that's where your actions are going to come out from. And if I were to be completely honest with you, there have been new branches of my purpose that have come out, new branches that have snapped off because of certain circumstances, certain situations. But the thing is, everything that I choose to pursue, I understand that I could have pursued it in a million, if not billions, of different shapes and forms. Like Go Youth, for example, like a community that is supposed to help people grow. That is one form of helping people. I could have gone down the tutoring route. I could have gone down coaching the health route. I could have gone down, communication skills. There's so many different ways that I could have played a part in building other people's success. But the root was, these are the resources that I have now. These are the knowledge and the experiences that I have. These are the connections and the people I have the opportunity to work with. And with the best of my knowledge at the time, these are the mentors I could speak with. I decide on a trajectory that I believe is best. And I also trust that unless I walk down that path, I'm not going to learn what it takes to become that. And another thing that has really kept me going, and this is just jumping to the question you asked Syed just now as well, is just understanding the phases of learning. If you've ever picked up a sport or anything, studying or any skill that you once eventually got really good at, one thing that I think everyone would understand is that you don't actually enjoy it in the beginning as much as you enjoy it once you begin to get good at it. When you begin to get good at something, in sports that would be, when I kick the ball and it's finally curving the way I want it to curve. When I pass the ball and it's finally like, direction. When I throw the ball in baseball and I finally get the spin that I want to be getting, right? when that begins to work, that's when it becomes fun. You know, when I'm doing business and it finally we're making money, we're closing customers, that's when it becomes fun. But
before
you
we
have to
get
understand,
there,
in order to get to that period, you're gonna have a long time of it not being fun, it not working,
Yeah.
and pairing both of that
Definitely.
together, it's like continuously looking at the resources you have, readjusting, and understanding that you need to stick in it long enough to be able to find it enjoyable, fulfilling, and whatnot, and that will help you reach that stage more often, and will help you make better decisions when it comes to your overall life direction, I'd say. That's how it's helped me.
Elon Musk again went through several setbacks on all these companies, but the notable ones are SpaceX and Tesla, of course. They both nearly went bankrupt. SpaceX rockets exploded 5 times before they finally managed to land on the sixth. So I imagine everyone will have to go through this, and we're going to go through this with you. We're going to go through many failures. The Kaizen formula is going to launch soon. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. How do you stay committed to this purpose despite the setbacks, Ilya?
How do I stay committed despite the setbacks? Have you ever, a very simple one, you know? They say that you have to fail the first 10 businesses to get your first successful one.
I heard that, yeah.
Why not just get working on the failures immediately? Understand that the failures is what's going to get you there. Understand that it's part of the process. Understand that
That's right.
when I go down, I put my head down, I put the work to it. There is the chance I'm going to fail, and that's completely fine, because that is how I'm going to get there. That's the only way I'm
No.
going to learn. You know? Yeah, exactly. Failure is prerequisite to
Guaranteed.
success. Is prerequisite.
That's powerful. I know this. Not failure. As an Asian, that boggles me a little bit. And my Asian blood still like, failure? No way!
Oh my god.
Americans embrace failure.
Man.
Like, yeah.
Oh, no.
Alright, I have one last question for the both of you. If someone hasn't found their purpose yet, how do they stay motivated in the meantime during finding their purpose? In peace while they are searching. We tend to get anxious when we still haven't figured out life, right? Oh, my friends are already senior position in this company. My other friend is already married with 1 kid. What's my purpose? The hell am I doing? My friend is, and then my other friend who is in the other spectrum of life, who doesn't go with the system, is already a millionaire influencer. What the hell? Where do I want to go? These are two opposite spectrum. Or should I become a doctor and have stability, or should I take the risk and become an entrepreneur or content creator? I'm anxious. I'm in the middle, or I'm searching for it. A lot of questions. Information. Make a decision. The chance of regret, or yeah, to be there's talk to a lot of people. It's as gimmicks. It's as 10,000.
To get information first. Get the world. Afterwards, vision that you have want to do.
Think okay, one, just to put an expectation out there, even for those who seem a bit more better managed, you know, people who are perceived to have a strong purpose, be very motivated. I think one thing you have to realize is that it's not that they don't get anxious, it's not that they have days that they're not motivated either. It's just that, you know, we found a reason to continue getting up. We found a reason to endure through that anxiety, because I think regardless of where you are in life, there are going to be a number of things you can't control. So it's just like, how do I stay extremely focused on what I can control and make the best of that? And what I can tell you, if you haven't found, you know, your why, you haven't found, you know, your reason to keep going, or you're just beginning to do that, is understand that you need to establish a direction first. Begin walking down a path, because it's the only way you will learn more about what is out there. And as you walk down that path, give it everything you have. Reason why I say this is because regardless of where you go, you will never regret giving it your all, because that is something that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. But if you're gonna half-ass it, that is something that you are at the risk of regretting, because you can't blame yourself or your past self for making the best decision he or she could at that particular point in time and giving it their all. Walk down the path, trust that the dots will connect, and give it your all.
So, I would say to you is first you learn about the world, learn as much things as possible, like Umar said. Afterwards, you want to do a lot of introspection, talk within yourself on after learning all this stuff about the world, even though there's more stuff to learn, but given that point in time when you have this information, find something that's within your interest and something that you will not regret at all. Then afterwards, you have to put it into action, which is you have to fight your way until the end. Because no matter what, it's going to be hard regardless. You do this, it's going to be hard. You do that, it's going to be hard. So you have to fight. You have to fight all the way to the end. Like Ilya said, give it your all. Because at the end of the day, you have to have some sort of trust or promise to yourself that it will work, the dots will connect, the stars will align. It's, whatever you do, don't regret it, and do not give up in anything that you're doing right now. And give it your all.
Well, guys, this has been a treat. And to our listeners, have you found your purpose? Or are you still searching like me? Share your thoughts and let us know in the comments. Send a DM in our social media. We would love to hear your stories, and we would be talking about it in our next episode. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again in the next episode. Assalamualaikum. See ya.